So there they were, their tats still healing, with donuts as their breakfast, driving off the road and into a field of grass. Chloe apparently had more plans lined up for the day, and Max wasn't privileged to know what they were until the time was right. But right then would have been a pretty right time to know what the hell they were doing. As Chloe took her truck off the road and through a patch of grass, Max was able to really soak in the sights before them. Chloe had put it correctly. It was pretty fucking gorgeous out there. As the creaky old engine coughed to a stop, Chloe grabbed the box of donuts and eagerly bounded out of the truck, egging Max to do the same. Max was startled and confused. Why were they stopping here exactly? Leaving her things behind, she got out of the truck and followed Chloe to the hood. Chloe grabbed 2 chocolate-encased donuts from the box, then set it on the roof of the truck. She took the donuts around to the front bumper and leaned herself against the hood, wearing the donuts like giant rings on her index fingers. When Max reached her side, Chloe pointed a donut finger dramatically in her direction. Raising a brow but smirking all the same, Max took what Chloe offered, and together they ate and watched the sunlight slowly beginning to spill across the edges of the hill before them. Max began halfway through her donut. "Fucking rough, Chloe mumbled through a mouthful. Shoving the last bit into her clogged cheeks, she wiped crumbs on her jeans. "What are we doing?" Max wondered, trying to keep her question neutral, though she was slightly annoyed with the random stop. Still chewing on her food, Chloe took Max's hand and squeezed it for a moment. She pulled Max in, and they hooked hips for a moment. Max chewed at her donut as she absorbed the beauty of droplets of dawnlight speckling Chloe's profile. Chloe swallowed at last, coughed a bit, pounded her chest, and breathed with satisfaction. You should totally snap a pic of this shit, hotshot." Chloe gave Max a gentle nudge as she suggested this. Max's stomach went queasy. I don't know, I haven't been, Exactly, said Chloe. Chloe's tone had grown solemn in an instant. Their hands disconnected. Max popped the last bit of donut into her mouth, and Chloe grabbed her hips, spinning them both to face each other. Without thinking, Max's hands found themselves resting along the top of Chloe's butt. It seemed like a natural hand-resting spot. "You haven't taken a single photo in days, Max." Max let Chloe's concerned stare burn into her skull. "Yeah," Max conceded with a wary shrug. I don't want to risk, the temptation or I don't know." She dribbled out a disparaging sigh. "Maxine," Chloe scratched her fingers against the denim on Max's waist. "Gotta get on that horse and shit, yeah?" Max's brows contorted with uncertainty as her cheeks began to heat up. "Haven't been up to taking photos lately," Max explained the obvious. She was feeling uncomfortable all of a sudden. She let Chloe go, loosed Chloe's grip from her, and stepped off aimlessly through the grass. Chloe pursued gently, wrapping her arm around Max's shoulder. Connected at the side, they paced through the grass a bit as they talked, the sun emerging slowly beside them. "Come on," Chloe sighed with worry. "You love photography, right?" Max nodded half-heartedly. After all the pain and suffering her photos had caused lately, she was starting to feel uncertain. "Then you can't give up on it," Chloe decided. "You got a fucking gift, dude."
And Max has a gift.
Max coughed on her own saliva, regaining her bearings. "Chloe, I'm not so sure I still have it in me. Not after everything that's happened." Chloe paused. Max could see the sting of disappointment in Chloe's eyes. "I know this shit can't be easy," Chloe acknowledged, shrugging a bit as their steps began to sync up. "But you can't just give up. Don't let... What was his name again?" Max's chest swelled at the way Chloe seemed to have read her mind. "Jefferson," Max muttered dully. "Don't let Jeffer shit ruin this for you." Jeffer shit, huh? Alright, he's a fucking psycho, and you're not. Nope, we're not psycho at all, am I right, Maxine? Look, Max, I'm not saying you should, rush into this. I just want you to keep that spark, you know? Spark? Yeah, that, poetic, creative thing, that enthusiastic, that that thing that, I don't know, it's sexy, okay? Chloe grinned sheepishly, and Max felt her cheeks get warmer. Big, tough, punkish Chloe was totally into nerds, as she confessed back at the pool a week or so ago. Max was very okay with this. I want to see you rise above all this bullshit and do what you would have done anyway. Which, you know, seems like it would have been the whole photography bit. Max took in a deep breath. It wasn't so easy to separate the art from the artist. Not for her. But... You're right, Max sighed, letting Chloe loop them back around toward the truck. I can't just give up on what I love, huh? Didn't give up on me, Chloe reminded. That seems to be, going okay? Max swallowed, glancing down at her pinkened wrist as it sent a pang of stinging pain at her. Right? Chloe inserted, growing a little hesitant from the silence. No, yeah, you're right, Max agreed again. Max, I don't care if you're like Crime Buster or Time Warrior, whatever. I just want you to be like you and, photography and shit. That's how we got back together, you know? I just want it to be like your thing, our thing. Psh, you just want me to get your good side on camera. Huh, damn right, girl. If you don't show the world, no one will believe it exists. Max latched her hand around Chloe's waist. Their footsteps aligned in rhythm as they traversed the last bit of land back to the truck. So, Chloe started back up when they reached the truck. Why don't we, do a photo shoot, huh? And suddenly, it occurred to Max why Chloe had stopped here. This was a really pretty spot, and the lighting at that moment, with the sunrise happening behind them, it was nice. A new dawn, new start, for both of them. Yeah, sounds like fun, Max decided. Her chest grew warm with excitement as she went into the truck to retrieve her things. Yeah, fuck Jefferson, fuck Blackwell, fuck that tornado and all of the... No, fuck all of it. At least for a moment. Max needed a moment. Just for her, a moment to accept that what was past was fucking past, and she was allowed to have a fresh start. And so was Chloe. Max scooped up her messenger bag, slapping its strap over her shoulder. She pulled out the thick photo book she'd picked up at the bookstore the day prior. She popped open the film compartment on the front of the camera and loaded a fresh cartridge of film, locking it in place and slapping it shut. It whirred, spitting out the black card that protected the film in transit. Max loved the aesthetic of loading film into a retro camera. This camera worked a bit differently from her old busted 600 model, but she had quickly gotten used to the Spectra that Chloe had given her days back, William's old camera, helping Max relive the past in ways that didn't fuck everything up. Pretty grateful for that thing, huh? Thank you, William. The truck bobbed, lurching forward a bit. Max glanced through the windshield to notice that Chloe had propped herself up on the hood. Alright, okay. Max took her items and closed the truck door with her elbow. She clambered awkwardly up on the hood, and Chloe smiled at her. It was this encouraging little smile. Get it, girlfriend. The two of them sat for a few moments, legs dangling over the front bumper. Max opened her book and went to try to find something, anything, that would give her an idea of what to snap a pic of, or, how to do it. The art half of her brain was fried. Get some insight? Chloe wondered casually, lightly knocking the heels of her boots against the bumper. Max hummed, flipping pages. She was trying to get to a portion about landscape photography, like horizons and stuff. She ended up getting sidetracked by a chapter about candid profile shots, street shots, capturing moments where people didn't realize they were being filmed.
Now, can you give me an example of a photographer who perfectly captured the human condition in black and white? Seriously, though, I could frame any one of you in a dark corner and capture you in a moment of inspiration. And any one of you could do that to me. Do that to me.
Isn't that easy? Too obvious.
Those donuts suddenly weren't settling so well in Max's stomach. Hey, Max, said Chloe, nudging her partner out of her reading. Come on, I know I'm not, at all a genius at this artsy-fartsy stuff, but I'm pretty sure photos get taken with a camera, not a book. When Max glanced up at her, Chloe shot back an exaggerated wink with a bit of her tongue sticking out. Max was momentarily distracted by said tongue, but shook it off. Smartass, Max chuckled softly, bumping her elbow lightly against Chloe's arm. She took note of her page number, then closed the hefty book. Oh, dude! Chloe said excitedly, twisting her abdomen around. She gestured her head toward the cab of her truck. You should totally get on top of the roof. I bet you get some hella gnarly shots from up there, man. Max smirked at Chloe's enthusiasm. She dryly, facetiously replied, Yeah, some tubular shots, uh-huh. To the max, Max. Chloe topped off their 80s slang, sharing a wide and toothy grin. Get that fine ass on the roof! Psh, alright. Max made sure her messenger bag was secure on her shoulder and made her way up to the top, taking care not to rock the truck too much. The poor thing creaked and groaned under even Max's light weight. Max worried just how many more road trips the rust bucket had left in it. Her sneakers on the truck's hood, Max found the roof of the vehicle surprisingly comfortable. The boost in height maybe didn't matter much for what sort of photo she was about to take, but, well, perspective. Even a slight change in perspective was always refreshing. Yo, said Chloe, craning her neck and holding out both palms. Hit his sister up with a donut, would ya? Tinkering with her camera, Max smiled, setting the camera down to her left beside the book. The box of donuts, still resting beside her on the roof, had 2 apple fritters, a bear claw, and a strawberry frosted sprinkle. Which one do you want? Max wondered, hesitating. She secretly hoped Chloe would not pick the fritter. It would just be kind of neat if they both ate them last, but more so if Chloe also had the same idea. What's left? Fritters, strawberry, bear claw? I already had a bear claw, that one's yours. You could have the second one if you wanted. No way, that'd break the Donut Truce Act of 2007. I look like a traitor to you? Max burst out a laugh. Holy shit, she remembered that now. You never did get me to sign that, Max recollected in a bemused sigh. Chloe had typed up an actual document and everything. You signed it? Chloe spit out, flustered. In your heart. Nice, Chloe, smooth. So I did, Max played along, scooping up the strawberry donut. She ready to throw, flexing her wrist and watching Chloe's body tense up like a dog waiting to catch a treat. Max flicked the donut like a frisbee, half expecting Chloe to catch it in her mouth. But Chloe snagged it with her hands and had broken half at the impact. As Chloe went to chow down, Max shook her head to herself. Man, they could not make a habit out of this or they'd become whales in no time. Beached, rotting in the sun. Anyway, Max went back to fussing with her camera and finally got around to snapping a couple of photos of the horizon, following the rule of thirds. They were, pretty and all, with the dawn playing games against the hills and stuff, but Max didn't know, it just didn't quite grab her. This lack of pizzazz, it was fucking annoying. Had she lost her touch? She lost her passion? Or was this just a slump? Art block? Maybe she just needed, a more engaging subject with a much closer proximity. Predictably, her gaze fell to Chloe, who was inelegantly sucking donut crumbs and sprinkles from her fingers. Max was momentarily distracted by said crumb licking and took advantage of that. As Max retrieved the photo, Chloe's eyes widened, her thumb still in her mouth as she froze. Max just smiled sneakily down at her. Drying her fingers off on her jeans, Chloe shook her head slowly. Fuck, Max, she chuckled. Told you to get my good side. Looking down at her camera's setting switches with narrowed eyes, Max's smile widened. Max shrugged, citing, Photographer makes the best of what they've got. Chloe puffed out a pfft, shoving her middle finger up at Max. Max lined up her angle so that Chloe's hand shielded one of her eyes. Yo, Chloe protested, dropping her hand onto her lap. What happened to the scenery shots? Max's brain frizzled, trying to come up with some pickup line out of the many possibilities Chloe's statement opened up. She shook her head lightly, watching the last photo slowly develop in her hand. I'm, capturing the most beautiful sights in front of me. Chloe's eyelids slid halfway down, her brow lifting. Max's teeth showed as she grinned stupidly. We seriously need to work on your one-liners? Chloe flipped herself sideways, spreading her legs across the front of the truck's hood. I could pose for you, she sighed, sprawling herself out in a faux pin-up pose. Max wasn't gonna lie, was kind of doing something for her, but was also just too silly, too ridiculous. So, of course, she had to take a photo of it. Max snorted a laugh to herself, and Chloe sat upright. She pulled out a cigarette and lit it up, swallowing in its toxins and spilling them into the air. Max wasn't cool with this habit at all, but damn it, cigarettes made for neato pics, she had to admit. Fuck, she couldn't resist. Without even needing to be prompted, Chloe began to shift pose again. Spread on her back on the hood, she crossed one leg over the opposing bent knee. She rested one hand on her stomach with a certain softness and held her cigarette upright with her other hand. The early morning sunlight trickled across her in a wonderful way, casting awesome little shadows contrasted by the glow of her cigarette's tip and the wisp of smoke rising up. Max steadied her camera, waiting for the right moment, when Chloe inhaled and the cigarette's ember glowed a hot orange. One more shot left in this cartridge. As Max eagerly watched this latest photo develop live in front of her, she felt the truck wobble and groan as Chloe once again changed position. The girl was a natural subject who knew how to chill to get her pictures looking natural. It was, well, pretty exciting actually. Max could already feel her brain buzzing with ideas for shots. Ways she could take advantage of the setting, of the different angles she could get with the truck's height. She was already setting her camera back on Chloe, who was casually sitting in this totally mellow way on the truck's corner, holding her cigarette in maximum chill mode, just glancing off toward the horizon. Max let her eyes follow where Chloe's were looking. The open space of grass and hills and trees before them, it was really something. The sunlight was slowly seeping its way across the landscape, swallowing the darkness up. The night was over. The new day was beginning. My pose wrong? Chloe asked, still maintaining her oh-so-suave demeanor. She sucked in a drag on her cigarette. No, not at all, Max sighed, recollecting herself. I just, was taking a moment. Been a while since I've, just mellowed and took in Mother Nature and shit, said Chloe wistfully. Yeah, said Max, letting her camera rest in her lap for a few seconds. I like to stop once in a while, just stop, breathe, take things in, I guess. Contemplate life, the universe, and everything? Yeah, something like that. And then Chloe was quiet for a bit. And Max was quiet with her. And it was comfortable. Man, Max thought to herself, it's so hard to believe that after everything that's happened, that Chloe and I can just have a moment like this. It's weird just being with her like this, like everything's finally going to go back to normal.
Lame as it sounds, life has to go on.
Jefferson's words from the week prior kept fucking haunting her this morning. And yet, he was fucking right. And that pissed Max off so much. Someone so twisted, so psychotic. How could they still form, normal thoughts like that? Isn't that just the question we're wondering ourselves? Max closed her eyes and took a deep breath. Somehow, she'd find a way to clear all this shit out of her head. What's up, Max? Well, there was the somehow, of course. Oh, it's hard, Max confessed, running her fingers across the old camera fretfully. I don't know. I'm worried all this crazy shit that's happened, it might have, messed me up a bit. Yeah, Chloe puffed out, scooting herself backwards up the truck's hood. Dude, everybody's messed up from this fuckery. Don't, Chloe dialed back her intensity for a second, extending her hand up and setting it down on Max's left knee. Don't be so hard on yourself. I mean, psychological shit, it happens when you see things like that. You don't see the shit I'm seeing, Max muttered under her breath. Huh? Max's face felt so hot with embarrassment and fear with the way Chloe was looking up at her. Well, did she have nothing to say? No smart-ass remark? No guilt trips? Max's other voice was being suspiciously quiet. Chloe, Max began, her voice starting to tremble. She bit her lip nervously, setting the camera down by her photography book. What? Chloe asked quietly, intuiting this was something serious. Max could see it all over Chloe's expression, all over Chloe's body language. Chloe knew something weird was up and had been dying to hear it. Max's throat caught. Her brows furrowed. Her eyes darted rightward, upward, admiring the field of cirrus clouds above and the harsh way the morning light cast its glow on one side of them while shadows consumed the rest. I feel like I'm broken, Max explained, trying to keep her voice solid. Still staring skyward, she added, something in my head, it's fucked up, Chloe. I keep having these nightmares, these... Chloe was hoisting herself up on the roof beside Max, pushing aside the materials to Max's side. She grabbed the bear claw from the donut box and shoved it in Max's face. No, thanks, Come for food, come on. Max paused, absorbing the weak, desperate little twinkle in Chloe's eyes. She took the bear claw. Awkwardly cradling the bear claw in her hands, Max felt Chloe's pressing gaze, questioning, worrying, waiting. Max broke the donut in half. She threw one half to the ground, letting it fall off the truck's edge.
Fuck it.
In my nightmares, Max explained, gazing at the broken piece in the grass below, I talk to myself. Chloe's hand pressed itself into Max's thigh. Chloe's fingernails dug against Max's leg with this weird kind of longing. Chloe was being quiet. Chloe was focused 100% on listening. Max appreciated that. Needed it. It's like... Max clawed her hand against her scalp. It's like there's another me in my head just being a total bitch all the time. Guilt-tripping me and... I don't know, I mean, duh, right? I feel horrible about everything. All those people, Chloe, they're dead because of me. Max managed to push her eyes to Chloe, who had taken her hat off. Chloe looked so solemn, so serene, so calm and steady and solid. It was an expression Max couldn't exactly figure out, but it was serious, and it was strong, like Chloe understood that Max needed a rock to rest upon. There were no tears spilling, no sobbing, no whimpering. Every time I fuck with time, Chloe, it's like, I don't know, it's like I lose a part of myself, and now I'm so scattered, just like the smallest shit, it'll set me off, like just taking fucking photos. I can't not think about Jefferson. What if I'm going to end up like him? Max, Chloe sighed, her head lolling with disappointment. She clamped her hand down on Max's leg, then wrapped her arm around Max's back, rubbing at Max's right ribs. I'm serious, Chloe, Max groaned. I'm literally having arguments with myself. Like, there's another me in my head, and I can't control her. What if my rewind, all this jumping realities and fucking with time? My nose bleeds? I mean, what if I fucked up my brain? What if I'm losing my mind? Max questioned all of this, her eyes squinting with fear. Chloe shook her head with uncertainty, tugging Max toward her. She made Max set her head down on her shoulders. The scent of Chloe's sweat, of her jacket, of her deodorant, it was weirdly comforting. Still no tears. Max took a bite of her half-bear claw. Chloe kissed her on the top of her head. Another you, huh? Chloe mused softly, running her fingers through Max's hair as Max nibbled at the donut. She talk any shit about me? Max burst out a confused laugh. It was actually relieving the way Chloe was taking this in stride. Oh yeah, Max replied, trying to be light. She talks shit about everyone, but man, she really has it out for you. She's probably just jealous, said Chloe facetiously. Tell her there is more than enough Chloe to go around for however many Maxes are hiding in that head of yours. For whatever reason, Chloe making a joke out of this was very okay. It was what Max needed right then. Yeah, Max was just overthinking this shit. But... You've been through hella shit lately, Max. And your nose ain't bleeding for no reason. Maybe after we get back home we should call up your shrink? Maybe see a doctor? Wow, Max said, bewildered but in agreement. Chloe Price suggesting medical treatment, and not just the self-induced kind. Okay, hey, now, we are totes gonna self-medicate in the meantime. Oh, really? Said Max with skepticism. Everybody's got demon, Max. Everybody's got, like, coping mechanisms. That's what I said. Max smiled, letting Chloe's calm, collected approach to this soak into her skull. She nuzzled her cheek against Chloe's shoulder, shoved the rest of her donut into her mouth, and encased Chloe's waistline in her arms. Drugs, sex, and rock and roll, Chloe recanted. It's what the stuff's good for, you know? Making all this bullshit life throws at us, like, tolerable. Max felt like there were, well, better ways to make bullshit tolerable, but this was where Chloe was coming from. And to be fair, Max hadn't really tried those sorts of things. It's PTSD, Chloe stated suddenly. Max agreed without even really thinking about it. What you're dealing with? David, he still deals with that kind of shit. Max swallowed her food so she could speak. And it makes him do dumb shit, Max concluded, like put cameras in your house or hit you in the face. Yeah, Chloe sighed. Well, makes me do dumb shit too, like deal drugs and fucking try threatening psychotic rich kids, but, I mean, that's life. It's whatever. You're better than us, Maxie. You won't let that sort of stuff happen. You're not as stubborn as I am. Maybe a doc can actually help you. You have to come with me. Oh, yeah, totally. Fuck knows my head ain't screwed on tight either. Max kissed Chloe on the neck. She could hear a longing breath pass through Chloe's lips. Well, Chloe said nervously, briskly rubbing Max's side and breaking their contact. Then we've got a plan. She slid down her windshield. See? Teamwork. Boom. Max noticed that Chloe had left her hat over her camera. Max took the liberty of stuffing the hat on her head. Her ears were cold. It was cozy. She grabbed her camera and pointed it down the side of the truck as Chloe dropped herself off the hood and went for the truck door. "Hey, Chloe," Max called. Chloe looked up at her in reply, her hand gripping the door handle. Leveling the camera up to her eyes, Max honed in on Chloe's face from above. Chloe opened the door, perplexed.
"Oh, Chloe. I love you."
"I love you so fucking much," Max said, her voice cracking a bit under the weight of everything pressing against her skull from the inside. "Thanks for keeping my crazy ass held together." Chloe's face let a warm smile spill out, her eyelids flickering thoughtfully.
Let's rock. Hell yes.